All right, now on the drone itself, first thing you're going to do, of course, is extend all the legs.
Right. This is what makes the Mavic Pro so special. So, and it's folded down design. This is, very travel friendly. But of course, when it's time to fly, you're going to extend the front legs first. And I don't know, I had a tendency of wanting to flip up the back legs first, and it doesn't work that way. Otherwise, you won't be able to extend the front legs if you do it that way. So you'll learn quickly. Front legs go out first, then back legs flip out and up. Now, although the propellers are collapsed, once you put them on, by the way, out of the box they're not on, but once you put them on and seat them, you don't have to manually unfold them like that. You can,
centrifugal force will automatically
but it's literally a waste of your time. The minute you turn it on and the propeller starts spinning, they will automatically fly open. So you don't have to waste your time doing that for each prop.
You do want to make sure that the propellers are seated nice and tight.
Right.
So that is always an important thing, just to give them a quick check and make sure you don't want to lose a propeller in flight. That tends to create a crash.
That was my first crash, actually.
Was it?
Back in the original DJI Phantom, the propellers screwed on with a cap, and one of my caps came loose in mid-flight. Propeller flew off that way, and the drone just came spiraling down, out of control, nothing you could do about it. And that's why you'd want insurance, because you wouldn't want it to crash onto something that would cause damage.
Yes.
Like a person.
Like a person. That will cause damage not only to the drone, but to the person as well. All right, so once you get this turned on, if there's any firmware updates, how will you know if there's an update?
Well, once you turn on the controller, launch the app, turn on the controller, and then turn the drone on, the app is going to check the drone once it makes that connection to see if there are any firmware updates needed. And if so, it'll tell you, hey, there's a firmware update. You can read what it's going to change or add on.
Yeah, new features.
And you can do the update right in the app on your phone. So it'll wirelessly send it.
There's already been updates for the Mavic Pro since it came out.
Oh, yeah, quite a few.
And added new features and things. So those firmware updates are pretty important. Now, next, the Mavic Pro comes with a micro SD memory card. It comes with it in the drone. Make sure that your card is actually inserted inside. Don't fly without a memory card.
Well, it will even tell you if it doesn't have one. But yeah, there's one right inside that little door right there. And also, I want to point out, inside that door is a little switch. And that switch, while you're looking to make sure the card's there, you might as well check the switch, toggles between RF and Wi-Fi. So when I first got mine, it was in the wrong position, it was in Wi-Fi. And I kept, I had everything set up and it just wouldn't connect. It wouldn't connect because the switch was in the wrong position. Finally, it just dawned on me to just start checking and looking around, and sure enough, flipped the switch over, connected, and I've been flying ever since.
There you go, so that's something important to check. Also, if you have a backup card, so let's say, it comes with a card, right? It comes with a micro SD, but a lot of people will want to buy a second card. We're photographers, we can't have enough memory cards. So if you buy a new card, you're going to need to format it. So just put the card inside the drone. Then what you're going to do is you're going to go to the settings button. Now the settings button in the software appears right under the shutter button. You're going to tap the little gear icon up top, and at the bottom of that list, you'll see Format SD card, and you're going to format that card before you use it. You do not have to do that with the one that came with your Mavic Pro.
I've not even put a second one in yet. The one that came with it is just fine.
Right, it's already done, but if you buy a second card, you are going to have to format it, just like you would with your DSLR, right? Same thing with your digital camera, you'll do the same thing. All right, once you've got that done, you're going to need to do a visual inspection of your Mavic before you fly. You want to see if anything was damaged, maybe in transit, maybe at the end of your last flight. Just like an airline pilot, when they get out of the plane, they land in a city, and before they take off, they do a visual inspection of the plane. They walk all the way around the plane. Right. Even if it's snowing, even if it's raining, even if it's horrible, they make a visual inspection. You need to do the same thing with your Mavic Pro. Now, once you know that you've got the switches set to RF, if you're using the setup that we're using here, your standard flying mode is called the letter P mode. There is a sport mode that you can switch this to, position mode.
Right.
There is a sport mode you can switch to when it gets to its full 40 miles per hour speed.
And that's actually not on the Mavic, it's on the side of the controller. Because at any time while you're controlling it, you might want to go to sport mode to get that faster speed. And Just like my Mavic was in the wrong position for the wireless, it was also, when I got it, don't know if that's just the way it shipped or not, but it was in sport mode. So I was zipping around the first time I flew it
40 miles an hour.
without realizing that, hey, you could drop it down to position mode. And what the difference is with position mode, you'll get more stability, you'll get more control, more the ability to maneuver it around things
And for
easier.
what we're doing, we're not racing drones, we're taking photography and we're taking video. You want to be in the position mode, not the sport mode. And if you're a beginner,
you definitely want to be in position mode.
Don't start in sport mode. All right. So
also,
now,
you told me about an important thing, that when you're in sport mode, the proximity sensor is disabled.
Right, so there's sensors on the camera that keep you from running into something going forward or running into something coming down. So it has little sensors that try to keep you. It literally will stop the drone. Like if you flow the drone straight at you or straight at a person or straight at a car, it will literally just stop in midair and say, whoops, there's an obstacle, right?
Yeah, even if you're just too close to something, it'll start beeping to let you know.
And it will tell you, will say right there on the controller, obstacle. But here's the thing, when you are in sport mode, now you're racing, it turns that off. So don't count on that. If you're in sports mode, you could crash right into all kinds of stuff. All right, now we're at the point where we want to remove the lens cover. So there's a cover that goes over the front of all this to protect it.
That's this one right
It's this
here.
one, we're just gonna pop that thing off.
So that's a lens cover. Now, this is one of the questions I had when I first got mine. I've seen this in all the pictures with this gray cover, this gray cap, like not on it. So basically it's just a clear cover. And I was thinking, oh, that must be, they must fly it that way to protect it, from wind or rain or anything like that, right? And everyone I talked to said, no, take the whole thing off. Don't fly it with this cap on there because you'll just get better images and better video without it.
All right, next, you have a special little piece of plastic that holds the gimbal in place. The gimbal is a little thing where it's a gyroscope that holds your camera.
For flying, you want that to be able to move around, but for carrying it around, you want it to stay stationary. So this little gimbal clamp keeps it from moving when you're transporting your Mavic Pro around.
Also, you might want to keep a cleaning cloth, the same cloth that we would use for cleaning lenses with our camera gear, and make sure, of course, that the front of the lens on the camera is nice and clean, because if it's not, you have specks and dirt on there, you're going to have specks and dirt on your stills or on your video. All right, so that kind of gets the basic setup stuff out of the way. We're going to go over some safety tips next. Don't skip over this one. I know you're thinking, I just want to skip over it. No, we have an app that you're going to want to know about. There's some important stuff in there.
I know what I'm doing.
Just watch the safety.
Watch the safety.
I promise to do it really, really quick, right? We'll get through it quickly, so watch the next one, safety tips.